What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. My name is Bailey Kramer. In this video, I need your help to decide whether or not I should refinance this property. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump in. All right, so I have this property here, and I'm trying to decide on whether or not I should do a refinance. So for those of you who don't know what that means, it's essentially getting a new mortgage on the property. And I'll walk you through everything, so whether or not you have experience or even know what that means, I will explain everything. So this is the property here. I bought it in October of 2022 for $115,000. I put down 30%, which is roughly $34,000. And the reason why my down payment was so high is because this was a DSCR loan. I have a whole another video talking about that. I'll leave a link to it up here about what a DSCR loan means. But this is also my first rental property that I bought at 22 years old by myself. So the terms were not the best, but still made it work. So the interest rate on the loan is 8.5%, and my principal, interest, taxes, and insurance, aka my monthly payments, are $974 per month on this property. So I've had this property for about a year and a half now, so I don't have the full numbers for the second full year, but I can tell you, and I made a whole nother video about this too, but after year one, my profit from this property was $18,000, which I was very pleased with. So needless to say, the property has been performing well. So fast forward today, the property is now worth $130,000. The balance on the loan is $79,000. So my current equity, if you take the current value and you subtract the loan balance, the current equity is $51,000, and it's currently rented for $3,500 per month, which is more than what I averaged the first year. So I told you the first year I made $18,000 profit from, again, the whole year, and that was with rent averaging around $3,000 per month. I have now raised it. It's $3,500 per month. So I'm expecting the profit to be greater this year. So since the value of the property went from $115,000 to now being worth $130,000, I started to think about whether or not I should refinance this property and get access to some of this equity that's just sitting in the property. So here's what my refinancing option looks like. I've already found a bank, and I've actually used this bank before, that will give me 75% loan to value, meaning they'll look at the property and say, okay, it's worth $130,000. Okay, that's the new value of the property based on comparable properties that have sold in the neighborhood, and give me a loan for 75% of that value, which is $97,500. Now, if you're like, why 75%? Where are these numbers coming from? So typically when you buy a house in a very traditional way, the bank wants you to put 20% down, right? So that would technically be 80% loan to value. But when you're doing a cash out refinance, a lot of banks require you to do 75% loan to value. Almost like having a 25% down payment. You can kind of think about it the same way. So with these numbers, my existing loan balance is $79,000. I will have to pay a prepayment penalty on my existing loan to do the refinance, which is $3,000. And quick side note with these prepayment penalties, not all loans have them. Again, a lot of DSCR loans do have them. So that's where the prepayment penalty is coming from. And then the $1,000 fee is for the new appraisal. And there's a couple other fees associated with the new bank that I'm going to be refinancing too. So with those numbers being said, if I did this refinance, I would walk away with $14,500 in my pocket. And if you're like, whoa, where are you coming up with these numbers? Let me show you here. So again, the new bank is going to give me a loan for $97,500. Okay. Then if you take the $97,500, you minus the existing loan, $79,000. So we have to pay off my existing mortgage with this new mortgage. You also have to subtract out the prepayment penalty. You also have to subtract out the fees. What's left is $14,500 that I can literally put in my pocket, in my bank account, tax-free. I don't have to pay any extra tax on that money. That's one of the beauties about real estate. So if I went ahead with this option, this is what my new loan would look like in really simple terms. So first off, it would be a 5-year ARM, adjustable rate mortgage. Now, this is probably the biggest reason why I'm hesitant to actually move forward with this and why I'm really stuck on whether or not I want to do this. Essentially, what an adjustable rate mortgage is they say, all right, your interest rate, which for this specific loan is going to be 7%, is going to be fixed for 5 years. So for the next 5 years, you're going to have the exact same payment every single month. But after those 5 years, it's going to adjust based on what interest rates are in the market. So let's just say interest rates go from 7% to 10%. Then my monthly payment will increase to 10%. On the other hand, if interest rates go down to, let's just say 3%, well, then my new interest rate would be 3%. So obviously it creates a lot of unknown because my current mortgage is fixed interest rate for 30 years, which is very, very attractive. And the way that the monthly payment works out is it's about the same monthly payment. I put $974. This is not an exact number. I know it's going to be around $900 though, because that's literally what the bank told me. But the reason why is because the interest rate's lower, but the loan amount is higher. So when they kind of average out, the payment roughly stays the same. Also, one other thing to note, not to add confusion, but this new mortgage is amortized over 25 years, whereas the old first mortgage I got is amortized over 30 years. So those things all affect the monthly payment, which is why the monthly payment's roughly the same. The biggest question is, should I do it? On one hand, I'm really tempted to refinance because I can have this $14,500 in my pocket today. Well, actually not today because it's going to take a couple weeks roughly, but this would be in my pocket, tax-free, and it'd be awesome. But on the flip side, do I want to have an adjustable rate mortgage and in 5 years be stuck with potentially a higher monthly payment? That is the biggest question that's going through my head right now. I am truthfully stuck on this decision. I'm really not sure which way I want to go. I'm curious to hear your guys' thoughts in the comments below. Let me know if you have any questions, first off, on anything that I mentioned, parts of the process you guys have questions on, didn't cover. Then number two, what would you do in this situation? Would you just say, hey, I'm cool with how it's going? Or would you do the refinance to get money in your pocket today, but risking the potential increase in mortgage payments in 5 years? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.